And welcome back to the Press Star Podcast. I'm your host Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin', and this is episode number 53. And of course, I'm joined by Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's another great week of gaming with us. So before we get started, I wanted to let you all know today that we've actually added a new way to spend your channel points. Feel free during the episode to submit questions that you may want to hear our opinions, we want to talk about, something you want to dive into a little bit. Enter your gaming related questions and we'll see what we can come up with, talk about, at the end of the segments. But without without further ado, let's get started here. Vic, what have you been playing this week? I saw you
Um,
beat a new game.
yeah, man, I finally beat Batman Arkham Asylum, so that was fun. Really enjoyed that game, and I can't wait to type up that review in the coming weeks. Just now, it's time to figure out what I'm gonna play next. I did recently buy the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, so I do want to, because I recently beat Assassin's Creed 1, and the Ezio collection includes Assassin's Creed 2, just the best version of the game. So I was just like, I think it's time to give that one a try now. But yeah, man, other than that, it's just been a lot of Valorant. What about you?
So I ended up beating two games this week, which was pretty cool. I ended up playing Stray, like most other people. It's all over the internet.
Hmm.
Stray was an awesome game. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't give it a high review, but I gave it a good review. It felt short, very short.
Yeah,
But then again, it's an Annapurna game. It
yeah.
was only like $30 on Steam, free on Game Pass or on PSN
PlayStation.
Plus. Which I ended up getting PSN Plus just so I could get this game. So, think about it. I'm spending $120 or whatever on PSN Plus. 30 of it just went to this game. So there we go. Now I just need to find $90 more of games to play over the next year.
Right, and that's a game and
And
a
let's
half.
hope,
And God of War,
yeah.
maybe God of War goes on there.
Oh, dude, if God of War goes on there, that's $60 right there. I don't have to buy it. Awesome. I'm super excited. But let's just see what PSN gets because the catalog feels pretty light right now, but it feels like it's getting there. Like there could be a lot of potential, a lot of cool stuff on PSN Plus.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
but I did also beat a Game Pass game. I picked up Garden Story, which was like a Legend of Zelda meets Harvest Moon style clone. Pretty nifty little game. It was short, sweet, concise, and it felt good. So,
That's good.
this week felt pretty good for gaming. Got a bunch of action in on Valorant. I'm back into Gold 1 again. You're in Gold 1. We've got most of our group in Silver now, so it feels good. Feel like once our group jives a lot better and we're starting to figure out our lineups and figuring out what we're gonna do so that we're all on the same page, we do great. I think our call outs are good. We've had maps where we argue a little bit and then we take a breather and all of a sudden we just start winning games.
Yeah, for sure. That's
So I'm excited to play some more Valorant, but I also got to play some MTGA this week. Me and my friend were playing some MTGA, and I actually went 6 for 7 on a draft, so I almost went pretty much pay itself to play MTGA, which is pretty cool.
yeah, that's pretty dope. But yeah, man, let's figure out what's coming out this week though in the gaming world. I know we got a couple good releases this week. What's coming out?
Yeah, so we got a few interesting releases this week. The first one coming out is going to be Story of Seasons. So Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. So Story of Seasons is a game created by the original developers of Harvest Moon. They broke off and splintered to make their own studio while Harvest Moon kept being developed by the same company. The developers of the game left and then they went on to make their own company. So Story of Seasons is essentially Harvest Moon, the original group who made those games, continuing to make farming simulation games. This came out last year on the Switch and then PC, but now we're going to see it on the PlayStation 4, which is weird. Maybe we'll see it on PSN Plus. That would be cool. But that comes out on July 26th of this week, which is on Tuesday. Next, we've got Octopath Traveler, Champions of the Continent. This is actually an interesting one. This is going to be a mobile game. It's going to be on iOS and Android, which is interesting.
Hmm.
Square Enix is going to push one of their new popular games from the Switch onto the actual phone, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
You know, but next up we've got ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry, that comes out on the 27th. Next up we've got Bear and Breakfast. Bear and Breakfast is going to be a not survival but a crafting game. You are able to play this on the Switch and the PC. July 28th, it comes out on the PC. It says 2022 for the Switch. I'm not sure if it comes out this week or later in the month or later in the year. But it's essentially a crafting game. You play as a bear going around building a bed and breakfast.
It's an interesting concept there, to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little silly of a concept, but all good concepts come from something silly at some point. You know,
Right,
Minecraft was pretty silly looking when it first came out, but look, it's one of the number one games in the world.
right.
Next up, we've got Lost Epic. This is for PS5, PS4, and PC. This comes out on July 28th. This is a JRPG. Not much I can say there other than just it's going to be a side-scrolling JRPG. Looks interesting. It is going to be an action fighting platformer game, so we'll see how that works out for players.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna have a fun like talent tree system where you build your character in what looks like you know, a giant map of just skills, and you go up, down, left, or right and build out a whole skill tree for your character. Looks like there'll be three playable characters, maybe more, it looks like. So it looks like an interesting game. Check it out if you're into side-scrolling JRPGs. The big game of the week, though, in my opinion, the big games, let's say games, there's two of them that actually come out on the 29th. So on Friday, we're going to see Digimon Survive. This is going to be a turn-based strategy game come from the developers. Uh, sorry, Bandai Namco is going to be releasing Digimon Survive. It's a single player game on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and the PC. What's really cool about this game is we're going to be able to see people evolve their Digimon or Digivolve their Digimon in the middle of combat. So you start the combat as either the baby or the rookie forms of your Digimon, and you'll actually be able to evolve them. I believe it was rookie, champion, advanced, and something else. So you'll be able to actually move your Digimon along as you're playing, which looks pretty interesting of a game.
Yeah, I kind of have the
And
trailer playing for y'all a little bit here from Game Informer. Looks pretty cool. It's been a
yeah,
while
and
since
it
we
looks
had a
like
Digimon game.
no, definitely. I'm super excited to see how it plays. It's for me, I'm a big strategy gamer,
Hmm.
and for me to see them releasing a new Digimon game where you kind of it's a isometric, as you can see on the stream right now. It's an isometric sort of combat game. And what's really interesting is you're not taking your Digimon into it evolve. They evolve during the combat, which looks pretty cool. You get to watch, say, Agumon evolve
Like
into. I'm
Greymon.
actually not sure
Don't know
which.
which one
No,
that one was. Yeah, I know it
that
wasn't
wasn't
Greymon. That was
Greymon.
a different one there.
Yeah, but so that looks pretty cool. That comes out on Friday for all of our Asian consoles, not for PS5 though. So it will be PS4, which can play on PS5, but
Yeah.
it means it's not going to be next gen.
Well, same thing with the Xbox One. It's coming to the Xbox
Hmm.
One, so it'll play on the Series S and X as well.
Yep. And then it's also on PC, which is an interesting one. I don't always see Digimon or Bandai Namco games come onto the PC.
Right.
Lastly, we've got the big hitter of the week, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 releases. That's on Friday. We're going to be seeing that on the Switch and only the Switch. This is one of those Nintendo only games. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Many people know what Xenoblade Chronicles is, so I'm excited for those who love Xenoblade. I myself may actually pick up the series because I don't mind the grind. I like games like this, and I never actually got to play any of the Xenoblade Chronicles. You can see here on the stream we've got it playing the intro video there, or the announcement trailer for it. I'm not sure if there's any gameplay in it though.
Yeah. Just has some like story and whatnot, so it looks pretty cool. I've actually played a little bit in the second one. It was just, it's a game that
Grindy.
you have to like invest a lot of time into these kind of games. Like it takes like 100 hours to beat, so it's just something that's gonna definitely consume your time a lot for sure.
The JRPG, they're
Yeah.
notorious for hours of combat and content.
Right.
Alrighty, and so that is the releases we have for the week. Let's move on to the industry news, though. Vic, could you give us an idea what's going on this week? We only have a few articles, but it's still enough.
No, yeah, for sure. Interesting enough, you said you just played through and beat Stray, and I found this actually really interesting that I had to throw this in the chat. Annapurna, which is the creators of the game, partnered with the Humane Society and Cats Protection to help fundraise and bring awareness, I guess, in regards to like cats and stuff. Like we don't want to leave cats to be stray and stuff like that. They're really meant to be like domesticated animals or pets. So they're
Well,
basically
not meant to be, but the
at
fact
this point
is,
now.
for cats to exist within society, we have to domesticate them, and outdoor cats really don't work out too well a lot of times.
Hmm.
And so, many people they let the cats roam free, they breed and overpopulate, and then
Yeah,
they
that's
just
the problem
die
right
and
there.
they
Is
become a nuisance.
yeah, yeah, definitely the overpopulating is an issue. But basically, they're going to help get cats put into real homes and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool to see a game about a stray cat. They're going to try and help put stray cats into homes. So that's pretty cool to see. But
No, it's definitely awesome to see fundraisers like this come about and for it to be so on the nose, which is pretty cool.
yeah, exactly. Next up, we got Tesla. This one's actually pretty interesting. I don't. This one kind of blew my mind a little bit, but they're gonna implement, I guess, like Steam onto their cars, their Teslas. I don't know. I guess like you could play this when you're traveling and you just want to go sit out in your car and play a game or something. I just don't know
No, no,
how.
no. So this is I thought you were gonna say you
Yeah.
actually weren't sure why. So I to explain, when you're on a trip, you've got to refill your car, but it's for refilling a car, an electric car, it's not like it's the one inconvenience, the true inconvenience
Of
of
electric
an
car. Yeah.
electric car is having to charge it. It takes a while. It's not like you stop at a gas station and 30 seconds later you got a full tank. No, you've got to sit there for about a half an hour, 2 hours to really fill that battery up so you're good to keep going on your journey if you didn't charge it before leaving home or you're on a long trip. So what they're introducing is the ability to play your Steam games inside of the Tesla while you're waiting for it to charge. So now you're not just sitting there on your phone scrolling or doing something else. You can actively play video games while you wait.
Yeah, makes sense in the long run, I guess. Um, Next up, Tekken Bloodline got it's their new animated series that's coming to Netflix. Released their official trailer, so I definitely want to just bring awareness to that because I know Tekken is a long, long running game, a big fighting game. So if you're into anime and stuff like that, go check out that trailer. Next up, we got PlayStation. This one was kind of interesting. They acquired an esports platform called Repeat.gg, which is their website, and basically they're known for hosting leaderboard tournaments, kind of like Z League, which one most people are used to or know of. They have now hosted 100,000 online tournaments that included roughly about 2.3 million players. So it is a big time thing, and it's pretty cool to see PlayStation to acquire them. Just another avenue for them to connect with their players and connect it to the PlayStation ecosystem and stuff like that. So this is pretty cool.
Yeah. And this is where you can play things like Fortnite, League of Legends, Dota 2, PUBG, Call of Duty Warzone in custom tournaments.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Next up, Activision Blizzard. I feel like there's not a week that goes by that we don't speak about them, and this one's actually more positive news. They're one of their smaller developer studio, the GWA Albany branch, announced that they're creating a new union as well. So that's awesome to see. Just taking those next step forward to protect their employees. So that's pretty awesome. And then to round it out here, this one actually came out of left field, to be honest, but Obsidian, their hit game Grounded, is getting a TV series. I don't see where it's being like on what platform it's going to be on yet, whether it's Netflix, Hulu, or anything like that. But they did get some big names in regards to who's directing it and writing it. The director is Brian Goodrich, who kind of helped directed the cinematics from Halo 4 and 5, which we know weren't that great of a games, but the cinematics were still pretty solid in both of those. But the writer is Brent Friedman, who is from Star Wars Clone Wars, and if anybody knows,
Which is a pretty
it's a
big show. It
right.
was really good. I
Yeah.
only hear good things about that.
Yeah, so they definitely got some great talent, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. Obviously, there was movies and TV shows about, like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like, back in the day. So this, it kind of goes hand in hand, and I think the game was really good, and time to see how this TV show will go out.
Well, and Grounded's not even finished yet. It's
Yeah.
still in early access. The finished product actually drops Not next
September, I
month,
think.
but the month. Yeah, I
I
think
think
it's
it's
September.
September.
I was gonna say it's not August, but September. So that's pretty cool. I know it's something that I'm gonna actually host a group for and play through. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout. We'll probably be playing Grounded when that comes out full in
Yeah,
the
the
full
full
release.
release. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean that's everything in the industry news. But Roger, what's going on in the actual gaming realm?
Okay, so we got a bunch of gaming news this week. Almost 25 or almost 20 topics here. So first, we've got Star Wars Hunters. This was a game that we saw I think during a Switch event was the first
I
thing we
think
saw
so.
for it. It was also where we saw some remakes of older Star Wars games. That is now delayed until next year. So Star Wars Hunters, we saw a little bit of a teaser trailer for it, but nothing really substantial to
Yeah.
know what it's about other than potentially just like arena combat, bounty hunters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's now pushed back to next year. FIFA 2023, next thing on the topic, is coming to PlayStation, Xbox, PC, September 30th.
Yeah.
But caveat here, it's not going to include the Russian teams due to their illegal or their unjustified war with Ukraine, which is interesting.
Hmm.
Even FIFA's taken a stand against Russia, but
Right,
I
because
believe they're
they've
not
already
even allowed.
yeah,
Yeah,
they already removed the teams from FIFA 22, so this was just a carry on to their next iteration, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last EA soccer game that's going to be called FIFA as well, so that'll be pretty
yep,
interesting to look forward to.
exactly. So it's kind of a slap in the face to it. It might become a collector's item essentially.
Right.
Next up, we've got Dragon Ball The Breakers. So we've got a new Dragon Ball game coming out here. This is going to be an asymmetrical action game. It's similar to Dead by Daylight, and it'll be releasing in October, which is actually right around the corner,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
And that, I mean, October's packed with game releases this, and I just think that this game's going to go way under the radar. And the fact that there's so many games like this, like Dead by Daylight and um, Friday the 13th, and then obviously the Evil Dead came out. Like, apparently this is like a more of like a horror take on the Dragon Ball franchise, and basically you're just trying to escape Frieza. So it'll be
Well,
interesting.
not just Frieza. There's things like not Perfect Cell is in the game.
Hmm.
You'll be and you're not going to be playing as any one of the main characters. You're actually playing as two normal humans, and you're trying to just escape.
Yeah, so this was definitely a random game. Didn't hear nothing about it. No leaks, no nothing, no reports. And then this game was like, "Hey, we're dropping in October," and I was like, bad month to drop, but we'll see how that goes."
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be one of those,
Time to run around is
small
right.
time games, but you're going to be running away from Majin Buu, Cell, and Frieza, which is really cool. You will not be running around as Hercule because Hercule isn't a normal human. He is the greatest and most powerful fighter. But you'll gain unique power-ups and items. You'll be customizing your character. So you do get to make it your own, which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
you're trapped in a temporal zone. So like you're not in the actual universe here. Facts, right? Hercule's my man, dude. Like back in the day I was like Hercule's so dumb but so fun. But you're actually caught in sort of a you're into a alternate reality,
Yeah.
and you have to escape three of the biggest original Dragon Ball Z bad guys, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next up here, we've got Back for Blood, talking about Dead by Daylight and stuff like that. We've got Back for Blood. Expansion number 2 is coming. We've got Act 5 dropping. This is the continuation from the last mission in the game, I believe,
Yeah, I think
which
so.
was, yeah. So you're going to be invading a creepy cult that worships the undead.
Yeah. And that's all the information we got.
Okay.
There's no release
So
date, no other information. I was just like, okay, seems
just,
interesting.
just, yep, just supposed to tease us a little bit here. So that hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah.
Next up, Gotham Knights. We've got Batgirl officially, her official trailer dropped.
Yeah.
And we also found out during her trailer that Batman is dead, which actually happens a lot in the DC universe, depending on where you're at. And in this case, Batman will stay dead because that's the canonical setting typically. So Batman's gone. It is just the Bat Squad.
Yeah, but it was interesting because like they released the Batgirl trailer, and then like later on they were like they wanted to come out of nowhere. They're like, "Hey, we want to confirm that Batman is dead and he stays dead." And I was just like, "Are they just saying it just to try and take our thoughts away from it?" Because like the whole everyone's like community's thoughts like by the end of the game we're going to somehow save Batman. Like that's the whole
Nah,
purpose of this game.
I don't think so. I think people who are true DC fans would know that there are a lot of settings where Batman is dead. That's it. That's the whole story arc. And for him to really come back, it had to have been like a side canon universe, and the main canon will bring him. It will have him still alive. So in this case, we're going to be playing something like Batman Beyond, for example. In Batman Beyond, Batman is dead.
No body, no death.
It's just
exactly spooky.
no body, no death. That's true. It's true. But in this case, if they're going to confirm Batman's dead, I'm assuming we're going to be dealing with essentially a Batman Beyond style universe where the end of Batman has come and it's time for his followers to take over.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen people die all the time. You know, the Joker kills Robin. That's one of the biggest ones. And then we bring Robin back and that becomes Red Hood. We've seen tons of different things happen in the Batman universe because of things like Mirakuru or the Lazarus Pit, but I'm gonna say Batman's dead for this because they don't want it to be about Batman. I'm betting.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that goes. Maybe you're right.
Maybe I'll eat my shoes. Who knows? All right, like maybe I'll just eat my foot, man.
It'll be a Halo Infinite moment again, huh?
Garbage. Yeah. Next up, we've got Fortnite. I know everyone hates Fortnite, but Fortnite has actually got a new crossover coming, and they're crossing over with Riot Games to bring us Mel from League of Legends. You can now play as Mel inside of Fortnite. Uh,
Yeah,
if you like Mel, have fun with it.
That's pretty cool. Just adds to their long list of crossovers.
All I'm saying is Naruto versus, John Wick versus... Like, all I'm saying
Master
is running
Chief.
around with Goku and an assault rifle. Who knew the day would come?
Who knew that Master Chief would fight Kratos?
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we've got Ubisoft here.
Oof.
Canceled many games here. We've got 2 unannounced games that they said, okay, they're dead. We're not doing them. What were they? Don't worry about it. They're gone.
Yeah. Along with 2 other ones.
We also lost Ghost Recon Frontline has been canceled, as well as the Splinter Cell VR.
Which surprised me.
That actually makes me mad.
Right.
I was excited to see a Splinter Cell VR game, but we're not getting
The
one.
entire industry wants a new Splinter Cell game, and this was going to be the closest thing we got to a new one. And they were just like, meh, nobody wants it, we're going to cut it. Like, do you not listen to the community in the world of gaming? I guess not. But Ghost Recon Frontline, yeah, go for it. It got tons of backlash when they revealed it with the trailer. It was just another battle royale that they were just trying to dip into because they know the success of them, but they just knew it was just not gonna work out for them. Ghost Recon hasn't been good since Future Soldier or even just Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. So it's been a long time since Ghost Recon's been good.
Honestly, it's been so many years since Ubisoft has been good.
And it gets
And
worse.
then, last but not least, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, game to be released next year following the release of the movie. The new Avatar movie has actually been moved back to 2024. So now we're not even going to be able to get the hype from the movie.
Well, no, it was
for the
supposed to be
game.
released this year with the movie, but then now it's getting delayed to next year or 2024, which is
Yeah.
at that point it's like, what's the point? Like, well, where does
Yeah,
this
it
game
was-
take place at in the timeline? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, well, what is the timeline? What is the story? Let's be honest here. It's Avatar. I talk to people and I'm like, what was Avatar about? I've never seen it. And they're like, I don't even know. I'm like,
Avatar is
"You
a
watched
really
it."
good movie, and I'm really excited for the next
Yeah,
5 of them that comes
It
out.
looks so good, but like most people you talk to, they're like, I don't even remember what it's about.
Yeah, I
And
do.
I'm like, I feel like we're going to see this movie or this game come out and it's just going to be bad.
We'll see. I mean, it's Ubisoft, so could be
Pocahontas.
good, could be
Space
bad.
Pocahontas. Next up, we've got Jar of Sparks, a new studio coming out. These are devs from Halo Infinite, Batman Arkham Trilogy, Doom 2016, They're teaming up with a Chinese tech giant, NetEase, and they're building a new narrative-driven action game with a AAA polish. So this will be a new small studio with select members of some big-name games coming together, working with Chinese technology. So
Yeah.
maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be garbage. But one of the cool things is what we like to see, what we love to see.
Yes.
No live service.
Thank goodness.
So now you don't have to. It's a game.
Play
You
it. You
just play
beat
it.
it. You enjoy it. You don't enjoy it. Move on.
Stray took the world by storm. No live service, no cash shop, no stupid shit in it. It's just a good story game.
Yeah. So hopefully this comes out really good because pulling from Halo Infinite, which was a really good game, really good story, Batman Arkham trilogy. I just played the first one. That was a phenomenal game, and then Doom 2016 was one of the greatest games of that year. So got a lot of talent
hmm
here. So I see nothing but success. But the downfall is probably the tech giant NetEase. I don't know much about them, so I'm not going to throw them under the bus and run them over.
Yeah, it just it's one of those companies that you're like, well, you know, it's Chinese company, and I hate to be that way, but it's just Chinese companies are beholden to China, and China isn't a very good place.
Yeah.
Now, NetEase is a company that has allied with a lot of different people to make small style games. So,
hmm
maybe this will be something good, a nice double A that looks like a triple A.
Right. But speaking of services though, what's a good service that's about to come out?
That was a segue. Xbox. So let's move to the Xbox topics of our show. We kind of leave Xbox and PlayStation for the last bit here. Big one, Xbox. We saw it on PlayStation. Now we're getting it on Xbox. Discord voice chat is coming to all consoles but the Switch. So now we have cross-platform gaming. We've got cross-platform voice chat. Honestly, it feels like we're in the new age where consoles, it's not a war anymore. Get what you want, play what you want, and talk to who you want.
Yeah. As simple as that.
And the cool thing, it's already out. If you're an Xbox insider, you have it.
Yep.
You can use Discord on your Xbox now. It will be coming soon, though, within the next month or two, to everyone, which is pretty cool. I think that's beyond awesome. If you have a lot of friends who play on console,
Like
now
me.
you can sit there in a chat room and just game with them.
Right.
And they don't have to sit there and like buy special mics to plug into their phone to talk to you on Discord.
Right.
You could just play.
I mean, Xbox kind of made it easy for me already with my headset that I no longer use for my PC because of that cutting in and out, but it works phenomenally on my Xbox and my phone.
Yeah.
So, like, I would connect it to my Xbox and my phone at the same time, hop in a Discord chat, play Xbox when I was playing Halo Infinite multiplayer with you guys. So, it worked.
And then we didn't have to use Xbox Party Chat
Right.
on PC, which
It is
was
garbage.
a dumpster fire. Next up, we've got The Quarry on Game Pass. There is a free trial, or the free trial for Quarry is on the
Xbox.
Xbox store for PC. It's a Game Pass game, just a way to get you to maybe buy Game Pass and play The Quarry. There's a free trial in addition to being day one on Game Pass. Next up, we've got Forza Horizon 5. The Hot Wheels DLC became available last week, I believe it was.
Yep, the 19th.
So get your fill, my man. It looks cool. It's like
Did you
it
see the
is
map?
hot. Yeah,
That map is huge. I was like, it's a whole nother map. And I was just like, it looks really cool. Like, you're up in the air, you got snow, mountains, water. I mean, it's
you're literally doing spiral tracks into a
fucking
volcano. There's
loops and shit.
remember fucking the tornado thing where it's just like everyone going in like a centrifugal thing
Yeah.
through the center. It's like boost your car so that they go up and around and back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well now you do that in a race with other players. You're like blowing into each other and shit.
So it looks
Oh,
pretty
I'm
cool.
excited, dude.
I wanna check it out for sure. It looks a lot of fun.
Definitely.
They did
Me
they
too.
did they did a DLC before with Hot Wheels back on Forza Horizon 3, I think it was, and it was probably one of their best selling DLCs. So, and this one looks even better.
Next up, let's talk about one of their best-selling games ever from Microsoft and Xbox, Minecraft. Minecraft has announced that there will never be NFTs for Minecraft. You can't buy Minecraft NFTs. Good. Thank you.
Thank goodness.
Like, the fact you had to come out and tell us you're not doing this feels bad. Like,
Well, that's the world we live in.
like I'm sad to hear you go, there are no NFTs. I'm like, because I don't want to know about NFTs. I don't want them to exist, but we're here. They're here to stay. So luckily, they're not going to be any Minecraft versions of them. Minecraft is the game that is and will always exist, and we're great. Next up, though, Game Pass. Game Pass has a lot of news coming to it. Game Pass touch control support has been added to 10 new games, which is Citizen Sleeper, Disc Room, Escape Academy, Garden Story, Little Witch in the Woods, Lost in Random, Space Lines from the Far Out, Umurangi Generations, Yakuza 0, 1, and 2, Kiwami versions, and then As Dusk Falls as well.
Right, which is pretty cool to see some of those that just came out, just came to Game Pass, are also getting touch controls really quick. Usually it takes a couple months, but it was pretty cool to see some of the most recent games get touch controls.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's also talk about the Game Pass editions. So we've got a bunch of new things that came out last week for Game Pass. We've got As Dusk Falls released for both Xbox and PC. We got Sins of the Solar Empire Rebellion. So if you've never played Sins of the Solar Empire, it's a cool cool strategy game, real-time strategy game with just awesome how it plays. It's on PC now. We've got Watch Dogs 2 came out for both Xbox as well as PC. We've got MotoGP coming to both console and PC. And we've got Torment Tides of Numeria, cloud and console gaming. That means not PC, but it means you can cloud stream it.
Yep.
And then lastly, we've got Inside, which is another game coming to all consoles and PC. That comes out on Friday, the 29th.
Right, and if you guys have never played Inside, definitely check out that. That was like one of those like indie developed games that it could have won Game of the Year when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good.
It's a 2D puzzle platformer game, so it definitely looked really interesting. And then lastly, we've got Game Pass leaving, games leaving Game Pass on the Sunday, I believe it is.
Yeah, the 31st
Yes,
week from
Sunday, the 31st. Omno is leaving. Raji, an Ancient Epic. Luminous Remastered. Katamari Damacy. I can never pronounce that game. It's been around forever. Katamari is the re-roll version of the game is leaving, and Dodgeball Academia is leaving on Sunday. So if you want to make sure you play them before they leave, get them now. Play
I
them this
highly
week,
recommend
or you
playing
can Omno.
Omno for sure. Definitely play Omno. That was a really fun game, really short, but really enjoyable game.
Independently developed, pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And if you don't play it, it is super cheap
Yeah.
on Game Pass because it's leaving. And if you don't pick it up there, you can always get it on Steam for $19, which is a weird price point. Next and last but not least for our section of gaming news, PlayStation. PlayStation has made some new changes.
I don't.
Reducing customer support on Twitter. So many companies have moved their support, watched out for essentially community feedback on Twitter for years now. So people at them and stuff like that, all at every company, to be honest. And
Yeah.
Xbox is notoriously good at trying to keep their Twitter presence and talking with the community and not just doing whatever the fuck they want. PlayStation, they've decided that Twitter isn't for them, and they're gonna reduce their support.
Which blows
Next,
my
they've
mind
got-
because Twitter is such a powerful tool, and like I
It
know,
is.
like
It really is.
when I tweet certain companies looking for help, they like my message and then they send me like a direct message. Hey, how can I help you? Boom. Like it's a much
They
faster.
get you to the right people.
It's a modern way of connecting with people. You don't got to submit a
And-
ticket and do all the extra stuff.
And
Email.
most companies have teams of like 10, 20, 30 people just sitting there, bam, bam, going out, keeping connected. So it's just interesting to see these companies sort of back away from a modern, useful tool. It doesn't matter what you think of these modern, communication platforms. They're here to stay, and I think PlayStation reducing their presence on it is a mistake.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got PlayStation Network actually went down again this week. It was only down for a few hours in the morning, but it was down on 7/19. So, it just goes to show, Xbox has been down once, maybe in the past year.
Yeah, PlayStation's been down countless times.
PlayStation, maybe once a month. And then last but not least, we've got ourselves here The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. They've kind of added some little just customer like sort of outreach. They're like, Sony confirms this game is not a cash grab. The fact they had to tell us it's
Not a.
not a cash grab. Is it? Because like we're getting a TV show and you're just like,
And they
let's just
already
remaster it.
they already remade it
It's
one time, and now they remade it
let's
again.
just do it again. Why?
Yeah, I don't get
Why?
it.
Oh, because there's a TV show. And they're like, but the thing is, though, this game will include a speedrun mode because everyone loves speedrunning The Last of Us, as well as a smarter AI. Like, yeah, okay, cool. The AI felt great already.
Right.
Do I really need a better AI? Does the game need a better AI?
Well, at least
I,
they went
it
that.
just feels,
I just feel like at least they went the extra mile to make improvements to a game and not just kind of like reskin it in a way. Like they actually went deep
yeah.
into the remaking of this game. So
They
I
they
do
they're
respect that.
rebuilding the game. They said to be better and closer
I'm,
to what Naughty Dog, yeah,
yeah.
Naughty Dog originally wanted it to be.
I
So
mean, don't get me wrong though. Like the remake that the content that we've seen from the game so far looks phenomenal, especially compared to the remake before the remastered edition. I guess the remake is looking really really good.
yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Speed running, The Last of Us saved my marriage. Oh, facts, bro, facts. All right, Vic. Let's round out our news here before our new segment. Gaming rumors here. Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard. Tell me about it.
Um, there, the rumors are going around that the FTC should approve the purchase within the next month or so, which kind of makes sense. Like they actually already just approved the Bungie PlayStation acquisition, so and that came around the same time. And I know this one's a little bit bigger in scale, but it only makes sense to yeah, just a little bit.
Un poco.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Hopefully, we can see this so we can start moving forward and hopefully see Microsoft's plans with the company once it buys it. But a big surprise here though this week was the kind of a leak on via Discord. The next Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter 6, is going to be called Monster Hunter Paradise, and we kind of just got the name drop through Discord, and then it got tweeted, and then it got deleted. So we know it's kind of like a legit thing. So be on the lookout for a new Monster Hunter game, whether it's a Switch exclusive or if it comes to all platforms. But
Maybe. Be interesting if it does.
that's it though for the rumors and leaks this week. We didn't really have much going on.
It's a quiet week this week. Mostly the only news was Stray. Stray was everywhere this week. It was pretty cool, honestly. So why don't we take
How
the
about
last little
the
bit here?
how about the mod I shared in the in our other chat?
Yeah.
You can turn
I
the
see
cat
that
into the.
everywhere on Reddit.
You could turn him into the what was his name from GTA? I forget his name, but that was
Yeah.
goofy, really goofy.
Literally running it. People are like, "Oh, this makes it sadder when he gets falls off the cliff," and I was like, "Does it?" I mean, like I couldn't take the game seriously if that happened.
Yeah.
Now, let's just move on here into our deep freeze chat room. We can talk a little bit here if the community wants to engage. Feel free to use any of your channel points. Go ahead and ask us any questions about gaming. This week, last week, something you've always wanted to ask us. Go ahead. Otherwise, we're just gonna chat for a few minutes here about this week in gaming. And honestly, if there's not much engagement, we'll end early this week because it was a short week.
Yeah, it sure was. So, Raj, I know you just recently beat a couple of games. You have a game picked out for your next step?
So I was playing a game called Monster Sanctuary for a little bit there. It was a Game Pass game. It's essentially a platforming Pokemon game, if you will. It was
Okay.
pretty interesting. You get a team of 6 monsters, but all battles are 3-on-3. So once you lose one, you replace one of yours with one of the 3 background Pokemon you have. Monsters,
Yeah.
sorry. We don't want to call them Pokemon, but it was an interesting game. I'm thinking I might go back and beat that again. I'm also looking back at Warhammer 40K Battle Sector, as well as maybe I might pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It was a
Okay.
good game. Maybe I'll go pick it up for cheap real quick. Try that out, see how well it plays. Maybe I'll enjoy it. Then I
Yeah.
might get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 whenever it goes on sale.
Right. One game that I was looking forward to probably checking out was Road 96. That was a game that actually one of our community members, Kilthis, recently beat, and it's like it's a you kind of discover exciting places and interact with unusual people, but it's like all procedurally generated. Like as you're
Yeah.
going across this road and stuff like that, like you're a hitchhiker more or less, and you're just trying to get where you're going, and it's like a different experience every time you play. So it's a game that I want to check out. I think it's on Game Pass if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Between that and As Dusk Falls, I wanted to check out, but I was trying to see if I wanted to do like some kind of stream interaction with that game because it has some built-in Twitch features that allows like your Twitch stream to actually interact and help make choices for you, and like they kind of have the final say over you, and then like you can use two overrides throughout the whole game. So I was just like, okay, I might do that. But I did mention Assassin's Creed 2 probably would be my next game I play. Big game, like story driven game.
No, that makes sense. It honestly, Assassin's Creed was one of those games for me. It felt really good back in the day, but I think it might feel unusual because some of those early Assassin's Creed games after the first one kind of tried to really experiment with the formula.
Hmm.
A lot of travel mechanics, some different things that just didn't feel right yet.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I definitely did enjoy things around that time.
Right, and Assassin's Creed 2 is regarded as like one of the best of the franchise, so I was really excited to check that out. Especially it being like the most up to date version from the Ezio collection that has like the next generational update and whatnot. And I just wish Assassin's Creed 1 had a remaster or like a newer version of it because that game felt old, it looked old, but it was enjoyable. It had an enjoyable story. I just wished it kind of looked and played better. It felt clunky, but hey, a game came out in '07. I can't really expect it to play, I guess, that much better. But even a game from
Yeah.
'09 when I played at Batman Arkham Asylum, that game felt modern as hell. Like I felt no issues with the game. It played fluently, introduced new mechanics at the right time. Like it all made sense. Like how everything was laid out, all the enemies made sense. Added some challenge here and there, but overall it was a fun game.
Yeah, I really honestly I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 2 and I enjoyed Brotherhood just as much as well, which I believe is the one that followed.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good game and I liked that the games actually felt like you went into Brotherhood picking it up right where Assassin's Creed 2 ended and it was like, wow, this it felt like a day hasn't gone by. I'm like felt like I just kept playing Assassin's Creed 2 and it felt good. It felt genuine. It didn't feel like brand new game. Let's do all these new mechanics. No, it felt like the same game given to me with a brand new story. All the mechanic, everything was the same, except for it was a continuation. It was a pure sequel. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah, I'm really excited to check out Izio's storyline because I know like it kind of progresses and then like that last game like takes place in the future when he's
All
like an
right,
older guy.
spooky hard truth right here, dude. It is. It was low key my favorite game as well. Like people were like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed 1 is great and 2 is amazing." And I'm like, Brotherhood was like my favorite cuz like I played 2 and I was like, Assassin's Creed is the best series ever. And then Brotherhood came out and it was like the same game's sequel and it didn't flop. It
Yeah.
was just it literally rode the hype wave and then just kept growing it. So like
Yeah.
it already started at the peak of the roller coaster hype and then you just the roller coaster never dropped. It just kept going. You're like, "Yes, this is so good."
And then
It was such a good game.
and then like the end Izio's journey like in Revelations, I heard that was pretty good too. Just takes place as when he's like an older guy. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited to play through this whole collection. Same thing with the Batman collection. I'm gonna circle back to that because that's a trilogy, and I want to play through the next two games of that and see where that goes. Because maybe that has some kind of connection to the Gotham Knights game that we're gonna check out because it is in the Arkham timeline. So I'm really curious to see how that all plays and connects.
Yeah,
But
no, the the whole Arkham Knight series was really good in my opinion. I loved it. It was honestly one of the first games that I played on PC when I got into PC gaming, and it sticks in my mind as one of those games. Like chasing after Riddler trophies was oddly enough one of the silliest, satisfying moments for me.
yeah, you're like, how do I get to this one? And you eventually solve it.
You're
Or
looking at a Riddler trophy and you're just like, why? I'm not a dog. And Riddler's like, bark, bitch.
yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna crawl through this hole.
And I liked how like you would see one early in the game, and you're like, "How am I ever going to get to this?" And then like a new mechanic gets introduced, and you're like, "I know how to get to that one now." So it just all kind of made sense. But we don't got too much engagement here with the the chat bubbles spending of questions. So, Roger, you got anything before we close out this week's episode?
No, honestly, this week was a quiet week. I
Yeah.
hope everyone gets a moment to check out Stray at some point. It was a super fun game. Shout out to Spooky Crew. He's supposed to be doing a stream of Stray this week. Make
Yeah.
sure to go check him out and make sure to check us out tomorrow afternoon for Valorant. We're going to be playing 6 to 9 per usual.
Yeah.
Vic, where can we find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin _ Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. You want a game party up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, you even want to come on the show, hit me up on there. But Roger, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitch at
Lunatic _ Oblivion.
right here. And I was gonna say my Twitch or my Twitter one, but I was like, oh yeah, my Twitch one's different because Twitter has a character limit, turns out, and mine's one character too long. So my name on Twitter is actually Lunatic Oblivion, all one word.
There we go. But we definitely want to thank everyone for checking us out live, and anybody who checks us out on YouTube later on. This does go up 24 hours later due to becoming an affiliate with Twitch, so I do got to wait a little bit of time for that. But we want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.